I will be successful one day, real soon, in the future, maybe, if I do this, if I get motivated, if I... See what I've just said there, boys? Do you realise how airy-fairy and unspecific and uninspiring all of that shit is? I hear so many guys, right, say, I'm going to get in shape one day. Okay, when? Oh, I'm going to lose 10 kilos of body fat soon. Okay, when? I'm going to start this business. Okay, when? The big problem I see, right, and this is a problem that I saw in myself for a hell of a long time. Give it back maybe 6 years ago, I was taking drugs every single day. Said I was going to stop. I was in a lot of debt, probably like 15 grand overdraft debt. I was working, I was trading, I was personally developing myself to some extent. But I lived a life where my beliefs were so fixated and focused on the external. When I get here, this will be fine. When I work X amount of hours, I will have this amount of money. When I do this or that or the other, I might get to where I want to go. And it was never the case. And the more I stayed in this shit cycle of taking drugs, being a broke ass, always cutting corners, binge eating, binge drinking, and just kicking the can down the road, even though I had what some people might deem as success to an extent, I was so out of alignment with who I needed to be. And I really had to sit on this and I had to meditate on this, because when I was caught in this shit cycle, going through this repetitive range of bullshit excuses, doubt, anxiety, letting the external control my internal, letting stress, pressure, anxiety, lack of money dictate my internal belief system, the more my reality was shaped based upon what I believed. And I believed that I was broke, I believed that I was a drug addict, I believed that I was low in confidence, I believed that I was a failure. So everything around me, despite how hard I tried, how much work that I put in, I would always still fail, because my frequency was completely off. And your frequency is what you frequently see. And if you are frequently seeing guilt and shame and anger, desire, pain, sadness, regret, apathy, whatever it may be, your life will be only based on those emotions. Whereas if you are joyful, full of peace, love, enlightenment, willingness, you will literally find yourself in a state where you can remove all the external need for material, for validation, for gratification, whatever it may be, and you can focus all in on you. Because the biggest problem in which what I see with, let's say, business owners, with your common average guy, where it comes to getting in shape, having a great physique, a solid mindset, and building a business, is that they're so fixated on how other people are viewing them rather than how they're viewing themselves. They're almost living a fake life, which is what I used to live like, a fake life. From the outside looking in, it looked great. From the inside out, it was a shambles. It was scary, it was painful, it was hell on earth. It was a motherfucking hole. It was horrible. And I stayed stuck that way for longer than necessary. And this is the crazy thing, right? You don't need to stay stuck. The only thing, right, that you need to change is your mindset. And your mindset essentially means if your mind is set, your beliefs are locked. So if you change your mindset and unlock your belief system and change your current beliefs to think, I am successful, I am becoming successful, I am doing what the things that a successful person would do, you will start becoming successful, right? And this comes back down to personal development. It always will come back to good old-fashioned personal development. Waking up early, doing what you said you're going to do, reading self-development books, 10 pages every day, journaling, reflection, reading and writing, creating the very best version of yourself like a GTA character, writing down the muscle, the tattoos, the mindset, the health, the energy, the money, everything, so you can therefore believe that thought into existence and start living like it. Because this is something me and my coach have been working on massively, but he was like, you need to just be the guy now. Make sure it's done, be him now. And a quote that I love is, be there when it's now. So it's like, despite when the actual thing is, when it really happens, as long as you are being there every single day, when it happens, and you know, self-actualize the result. But you need to stay right on the pulse, boys, every single day. Right on the pulse about that character development, that ideal version of you. And my mentor even said last night, he was like, right, think inside out and back to front. So you start with the internal, inside. What are your goals? What are your values? Who really are you? Who do you identify as? Get super fucking clear on that every single day. Then the external will project what you internally reflect. And if you're reflecting on good quality stuff, your external will become high quality good stuff. You know, very simple way to put it. And then back to front is like, start with the end in mind and reverse engineer all the certain steps in which it's going to take you right now to get to where you now need to be. And you flow with that, you rinse with that, you jam with that, and you just show up every day for that. And see, when you really plug in, see when you tap in, your eyes really open for the first time in a long time, you can look at everything differently. You walk down the street differently. People look at you differently. See that presence, that aura that some people have. They walk into a room and you just notice them straight away. You're like, whoa, there's something about that. You can have that if you allow yourself to have that by creating that internally. Because you could be a fat, angry piece of shit cunt with a Rolex watch, the best of clothes, head to toe, and you know, thousands of pounds worth of clothes, but walk into a room, people will notice the material. But if you internally are a piece of shit, then you're going to make them feel like a piece of shit, and they won't give you any time or respect. But you can walk into a room being a lean, jacked, handsome motherfucker who internally validates himself based upon their process, their habits, themselves, their own identity. They could be wearing a black Primark t-shirt, pair of slacks, you know, whatever fucking shoes they want to wear, and they would have more respect for that, you know, because people see the habits a mile off. But then how you make them feel based upon your presence, your aura, is everything. You know, I was even speaking to a client last night. He messaged me, crushed a half marathon last week, macros bang on, scale weight coming down, business is flying, it's thriving. I'm like, good. And then he went out to a singles night, like a date night, right? And he was saying, like, honestly, I had the pick of the crowd, right? I might not be the best looking, I might not have the best teeth, the best hairline, but because of my charisma, my style, the way I present myself, the way I can speak and articulate, the way I can hold an audience, the way I can communicate, the way I can make people feel, I had the pick of the litter because I made the girls want to be around me because I had such good energy. And that's where it's going to come down to, you know. And he was saying it was like the rest of the guys were just like anxious fucking riddled messes that were trying too hard, and it's like, that is life, man. The guys that try way too hard and try to put on a persona or put on a front when they're not internally built, that guy, it's like you're wearing a motherfucking mask, bro. You're wearing a fucking mask. You know, and even when I'm doing these videos, I can just sit and I can just free flow. No script, no thinking like all these other fucking YouTubers that are scripting and cutting and doing this and doing that, trying to keep your attention. The guys who watch my content are here because they like the content and they like the bro chat. They're not here for the fancy reels, the tactics, the this, the that, and you can get all that. That's what I do with my my VIP and elite clients, give them the tactics and the strategies to absolutely dominate in every aspect of their life, because on a surface principle based level, there's tactics and strategies to everything that we can implement. But it's always going to stem back to the mindset. It's always going to scale back into the internal, how you feel yourself. And if you believe you're never going to be successful, then you never will be successful. You never think you're going to have the abs, the money, the status, the respect. You never have that, because you're always going to hold yourself stuck based upon the current level of beliefs in which you have. And like I said at the start of this video, I used to believe I was unworthy. I used to believe I was undeserving of. I wasn't allowed to have X, Y, or Z. But now I just believe I can have anything I want. And I speak my truth. I'm authentic to me. And I live that. I live it. I love it. I be it every single day. I work with a community of clients that I would class as my best friends and my brothers. I speak honestly and openly to them. Like, yeah, they fucking pay me, but I don't care about the money. I do not care about, if I cared about the money, people would know. Because yeah, business is doing well, but I'm not one of those guys that I'm wearing literally Tesco shorts from the UK, Tesco socks, and a Primark t-shirt right now. But I've got a sick physique. I nail my food every day. I'm healthy, I'm reading, personally developing. I don't care about the material. Yeah, material is nice to have, and I will indulge in it now and again, because a little treat. It's never bad for the the old self-worth sometimes, getting a new jacket. I like shoes, guys. I like shoes. Put it that way, good running shoes. But if it was about the money, man, people can see if it's about the money. And when you're so focused on transformation rather than transaction, then you're still going to make more money down the line anyway, because you're so focused on the value added rather than the value extracted, because that's all money is. Money is just value, right? Money is just value. It's energy. And when people hoard it and put too much importance over it, they are controlled by money. And the same goes with your goals. If you are putting too much importance on fat loss, for example, you're going to be running an uphill battle, right? Because when you remove the importance from fat loss and just become someone who is lean, you shift your beliefs to, I eat this way, I identify as a lean, competent, strong person, so therefore my habits, my relationship with food, my training will be aligned with those outcomes. And you generally just start getting to where you want to be very, very quickly when you think this way, Fucking love coffee, by the way. So good. So good. But yeah, take this on board, guys. It's crazy, man. Take this on board. But see when you start tapping in to who you're meant to really be, you'll feel that your truest authentic self is already inside you. See, if you were to ask your mum and dad, right? What was I like when I was like 6 years old or 8 years old? They would tell you were like fun-loving, super creative, really kind little guy who was always helpful, great friends, like the list could go on. Go do that, like that's a task. Go do that. And then look at your life now. Who the fuck are you? Right? Because if you're not similar to that little fun-loving dude, you're not being authentic. You're not being your truest self, You're too narrow-lensed with the thinking. You got to expand your horizon. Think bigger. The world's a crazy place. The sooner you realise that the journey in which you're on never ends, you can be at peace with where you're at and just become the best you. And therefore, the journey in which you're going to continue moving on, which is life, will be far funner, it would just be better, right? It would just be so much fucking better. because you're the best you. And it's like, right, you can't fit a circle into a square, but I tell you what you can do. You can become the center of your own world, the very best you, by controlling your internal, which will reflect on the external. And then you can navigate, course correct, find your purpose, guarantee your success, and live true to the identity of who you know you now need to be. And that's how it rock and rolls, boys. That's how it rock and rolls. So yeah, I will see you on the next video. I think we're about nearly 20 minutes in on this. That's the thing, I can just sit here and tap in. I don't need to feel like I need prompts. I've tried doing that before. Like, this is the crazy thing, I'm just gonna roll on this, but I've tried to do the prompt videos before when I get the title, when I have the script. And guess what? Clients message me like, bro, that was unauthentic, that wasn't you. And I'm like, motherfucker, you know. And that blows my mind when people can see through it when you're not being yourself. So think about that, guys. Whereas with a video like this, I had my tripod set up, I had a thought, communicating with clients, I was like, I'm going to drop some value. Boom. Value gets dropped. Plus I've had a couple of coffees and I'm pinging, you know, fear twitching. But I got to shoot actually. I've got a call in 10 minutes that I want to prep for. I'm buzzing, man. Just things are flowing. Things are flowing because I'm allowing them to flow. Don't need anything, don't want anything, just doing what I know is right for the greater sake of humanity. By becoming the best me. Guys, I will love you and leave you. See you in the next one. Make sure to follow the Daily Habits, Lewis McFarlane Coaching on Instagram. And yeah, we'll maybe catch you tomorrow. You know what? We most likely will catch you tomorrow because we do a daily upload. See you in the next one.